Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of Crafts with Corey. Today's episode is related to helmets again, one or two helmets, specifically with painting insignia on helmets. This is actually a commission job, so I'm doing it for somebody else. So you can look up helmet insignia, all that. But what we're specifically doing is I am painting a Chaplain's insignia on the front of this helmet. I'm also painting a bar on the back to signify that this is an officer. So, let me just brief introduction. I've already got the bar on the back done, and I'm also weathering and aging these insignia. So, right now I'm in the process of figuring out the cross on the front. This is just a paper template for right now, just so I get the ratios right. You can see, gone through some different iterations, and just trying to see what works and what doesn't. There was no regulations as far as I've found. Also, shout out to Chaplain Steve Green. He's given me a lot of help on this project. But there's, as far as I know, there's no regulations on what size these insignia need to be. There is regulations and documentation on how big the leadership stripe on the back is, but that's something else. That's pretty easy to do. I think this was a 1x4 bar. Later they were either 1.5 by 3 or 2 by 3, something like that. I don't remember. This is 1x4, so 1 inch wide, 4 inches tall. So, but with this, I'm just kind of guessing. Starting out with some paper templates. I have settled on this cross is 1.75 inches tall. So 1.75 inches tall. And then how thick it is here is actually 3/8. I settled on 3/8. And the top, or the horizontal bar, is 3/8 of an inch down from the top. And then the arms themselves are 3/8 wide. Kind of creates a perfect square if you like connected the points or whatever. So yeah, that's what I settled on. So next up is actually going to be making a mask, so I can actually paint this on. Again, this paper template, just so I can visualize what it looks like. I like it. I think it's going to work. So next step is going to be creating a mask to actually paint this, and I will be utilizing blue painter's tape, probably. Here's the problem: is it's pretty wide. If I had any 2-inch painter's tape, that would be perfect. I don't know if I do or not. I may have to look around. I may have to get back with you. So yeah, next step is going to be creating a mask, so I can paint it. So thanks. Why am I saying thanks? I don't know. Filming's hard. Filming's hard. I want to be interesting and all that stuff. And by the way, this is being recorded on my phone, so not the best quality, but it's all right. And I've got a fan going in the background. Any hoozle, I'm going to see if I can find any wide masking tape. That way I don't have to like overlap masking tape. Having a solid piece will be good. So, all right, we'll be back. Okay, part 2. Unfortunately, I don't have any 2-inch wide masking tape, so I'm going to be using 3M auto tape. So I'm just going to have to overlay it. So the plan is I'm going to work over top of a plastic bag, so I can actually stick my tape to the plastic bag, and so when I'm ready to peel it off and stick it on the helmet, it's going to transfer easily. Let's get you guys down just a little bit. Yeah, I know my workbench is messy, but oh well. Let's actually bring you all height-wise down. No filming was so glamorous. There we go. Now I got a little bit more work a little bit more space. Okay, so I'm going to take my 3M masking tape, just create a nice little bed here. I think I'm actually going to do several layers. That way, just know it's not going to bleed through. So I'm going to overlap it, I don't know, ½ inch. I think I'm going to stick with that. I think if I start layering too much, it's going to get too thick. So, final check. Stay. Okay, you're going to laugh at me, but I don't actually have a small square. So, we're going to do this the fun way, I guess. So, using a compass or just a ruler, I'm going to measure, what did I say? So this is going to be 1.75 tall. So, inch and 3/4. Look just slightly here. Yeah. 3/4. Now, I'm not looking for utter perfection. These would have been applied in the field with no regulations. So, yeah, kind of, it's fine. I'm going to try something here. Instead of using my framing square, whatever that is, because that's unwieldy, I'm going to use a set of calipers. So, the bars are 3/8 tall, which is 0.375. Right? I think it's 0.375. Okay. Come on, a little more. I'm just making it precise for my own benefit. Helps if I loosen. Okay. Gonna double check on my model. Yep, 0.375. And the reason I'm doing this is just so I know I've got straight sides. Is that what I want? Yeah, that's what I want. Right on the line. Like that. Now, I'm going to have to use my framing square because I don't have the right angle. I'm just an idiot. Big old idiot. I'm trying my best here, folks. But, all I need to do, line up, make sure it's fine. Down. Okay. Good enough for government work. I'm going to cut it all out anyways. So. Pick up. This is where the fun begins. Of course. Why would I do that? I seriously don't have a square. If I go this way, though, it should be the same. So the ultimate plan is I'm going to draw this out, cut it out with an X-Acto knife, call her good. Make sure that that's good. Nope, a little bit off. This auto tape's not really fun to draw on. Have to sharpen that. All the good things. Bring you all in closer here. I'm sure you don't like just watching me do stupid things. There we go. A little bit closer to the action. Cool. Perfect. Okay, so I got it 0.375. Let's. I may have to redo that. I don't want to trace this, just because this isn't perfect. But yeah. Okay, so got that. Where's my paper? Where's my paper? There it is. 3/8 thick, 3/8 top. So come down. Yeah, I know. Alright, 1, 2, 3. I'm marking the crossbars now. 1, 2, 3. Wow, first markers. This 3M auto tape is not the best. Gotta say. There we go. I have another sharper. I do not. Well, that was pretty sharp. Okay, same thing on the other side. More struggle because I'm an idiot and I don't have a proper square. Probably some expert drafter yelling at me. 1, 2, 3. Some sharper lines there. Okay, so I've got how thick the bar is, I've got how far down it goes. So they're going to be, so it's 3/8 down, and then each arm. Each arm is 3/8 wide. Square. What's this? There we go. 2, 3. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Seems like the double portion is not wanting to, right on. Okay. Nope, not lucky. Again, never said I was smart, people. Let's just get that out of the way. Okay. Sorts of lessons. It may not be riveting, but learning. Yep. Okay, so I think we're pretty close there. Yeah. All right, next step is going to be cutting it out with an X-Acto knife. So, get rid of that. Yes, I'm ashamed I had to use this, but use the tools. Use what you got. So I'm going to cut the outside and keep the inside. Scratch that. I'm going to cut out the inside and keep the outside. There we go. Jeez. It's a rough day, folks. Take that off. Okay. So you don't see my bald spot. Make sure you're using a sharp knife. And see, it's kind of critical because you want right angles. cutting on a smooth surface. So I am purposely trying to cut through plastic bag on the bottom. Now, not purposely. I don't need to, but it's fine if I do. Take your time. Okay, so what we got here? All right, there we go. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, so next step is going to be peeling this off, putting it on the helmet. So I'm going to position that. I'm going to cut the video and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So I got it positioned. I just got it basically front and center. I just made it look good. I think that's a good placement for it. It's low enough down. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. So next step is going to be painting it. And for insignia, I just use Testors. Where is it? Yeah, so I'm just using Testors flat white. I'm going to give this 2 coats, make it look pretty good. Basically make it look brand new, and then I will start aging it. When it comes to aging things, that's kind of how I like to do it, is make it look new and then start aging it. I mean, you could potentially, as you're painting it, you know, not go as heavy on the paint or do some sort of streaks or whatever, but it's not really what I like to do. I like to bring it up, make it look brand new, and then bring it down. So again, just Testors flat white. It's going to take about 2 coats. Put them out in the way. So it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some bleed over, but that's fine. It's going to make it look even better. You look even more original. But I am going to pay attention to the corners as best as I can and the edges. Don't need to use a lot. Just take your time. And, you know, working with a curved surface like this is quite challenging. You never really know how it's going to act. Getting the ratio on this, as far as the size of the insignia, that's a lot of fun. It took me about an hour to really play around with it. A little bit awkward how I'm doing it, because I'm doing it for you all, for the benefit of the video. So just get a nice layer down. And see, what I was talking about is, you know, some people may like this is the only coat they do. You know, it's still pretty splotchy. But I'm gonna give it another layer just to make it look good, and then start aging that. You bring it up, then you bring it down. Try not to have too much paint pool on it, like right here. It looks like it's pooling. Take some of that excess away here. don't want to go too heavy. So now I'm just taking off excess paint, just because I don't want it to bleed through. And then I'm also going to tilt this helmet so it's flat. Testers dries pretty quickly, so use model paint. Okay. So I'm not going to bore you with watching paint dry or putting on another coat. So we'll cut back when it's dry, when I've put on a second coat and it's dry, and I've removed the mask. So thanks. Okay everyone, so this is where we stand after 2 coats of Tester's model paint on the insignia. So it looks brand new, but now we gotta kind of tone it down to match the rest of the helmet. So the key with this is I want to be light and just kind of creep up on what I want as far as aging. Turn this around. We'll see that this is what I got on the back. And so I kind of want to match that. We'll do the same on the front. So the tools I've just got some 600 grit sandpaper, as well as some 220, just in case I need it. I'm going to start with 600. I've also got some wood stain. Doesn't matter what type, choose what you want. This is just stuff I already had laying around. And then if I need to, just to add a little bit more color, I've got some paint. This is specifically burnt umber and traditional burnt umber. And then just some cheap brushes. So first I'm going to start with the sanding. And the big thing is I want to soften the edges. And then on the inside I want to actually take it down to where you can see the paint underneath. I'm going to try not to touch the affecting area, or the area around it. Try not to affect the area around it. And just so we can be all natural. Yep, we're on that. So let's give it a shot here. Again, just looking for light, just blending it a little bit. And then I'm also doing in the middle. Oh, also I forgot. I have plenty of rags. So again, just taking down the sides, trying to be careful. Don't want to be around too much on the original paint. It's also weird working with a camera right here. So you can get, yeah, perfect. That's good. I know I'm in the way, but I'm working just the best angle I got here. Okay, let's wipe this off. Not a lot, just taking a little bit off. So let's go on the inside a little bit. So the inside, because I've got 2 coats on it, it's going to take a little bit more effort. So it's starting to scratch up, but I think I'm going to try a little bit of the 220 and then come back with the 600. Smooth it out. Maybe a mistake, I don't know. Let's find out. Just gentle. Yeah. It's taking a good amount off. Yeah. So giving it 2 coats of paint really made sure it was on there good. But again, that's what I wanted. Wanted to make it look new and then age it appropriately. So, corners are really great to take extra off. Dig in there a little bit. Clean up here. I wouldn't recommend this for everything. I'm much more a proponent of letting things naturally age in patina. But this is a custom job, so this is not for me. It's not my helmet. It's something that somebody's paying me to do, and they want it aged, so here we are. I also, I know some people, I've heard of people aging things to fake them, basically, so they can resell them. Yeah, I'm not into that. That's not cool. So, I'm into making it look the way it needs to look. And yeah, if somebody tries to pass it off as an original, I know I don't do that well of a job, so I know hopefully somebody with a keen eye can look at that and go, yeah, that's not natural aging. But from a distance, it blends in. It really is kind of great having this form here. A little bit more aggressive, maybe. Okay. Wipe that off, wipe that clean. So, we got that so far. It's not looking bad. Let's try a little 600. Smooth everything out here. Started getting a little grease on it just from sandpaper, or maybe that's the paint. I'm sanding down so much the paint underneath is coming through. Alright. Alright, clean off the residue from sanding, and I think that's pretty good base. I think it's pretty well weathered. There's this little bit right here that I don't like. I don't think I can clean it off anymore. That's fine. I think it'll come out with the weathering. Okay, so that's kind of the base we've got. I'm sure it looks a little bit more extreme on camera than what it actually is. Alright, I'm going to start with the wood stain. So with this, I don't think you can, you gotta play around with it. Luckily with wood stain, you put it on, then you wipe it off. So you can put it on relatively heavily and then wipe it off. You just gotta make sure it doesn't run, because I don't want it to flood the surrounding original paint that much, because then it's just gonna look unnatural. So I think I'm actually going to start with that, and basically take it off. And a little bit. There's probably 1,000 ways to do this. Everybody has their own recipe. Totally fine. I'm just showing you my way. I'm not saying my way is the right way. I'm sure somebody is going to comment about it, but you know, it's just one way. Not the best way, it's just a way. I never claim to have the right way. I'm always open to learning. So, there. It's not too bad. A bit over here, a little bit more. And the longer you let this sit on, the more dark it's going to get. But I have found that if you let it dry, at least for this smooth paint, you let it sit there for a while, you can actually rub. If you let it get too dark, you can actually rub the excess off. So, right. And I just want to creep up on the color that I want, the aging I want. And you're not going to get super dark with this probably, just because nature of it. Clean up the edges again. I don't want stain on the green paint. So bring everything in towards insignia. Because if you put stain on the green paint, it's going to make like a little weird halo. Ironic, but it's just not going to look as natural. So I'm trying to be careful not to do that. Alright, so that's pretty good oxidation. So checking with the back, what we're trying to get to. There. Sorry. There. That's what we're trying to get to. And that's where we're at. So, I'm going to do one more treatment with this. Just make a little scattered here. And then I'll move to the paint. I think probably the stain's good for an overall patinaing effect if you want to affect a large area. Oops, sorry. New to filming. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good. So again, just removing what is around insignia, so it doesn't look totally weird. Right there. Okay. You're not going to get it perfect. It's going to look stained, but I think it'll be okay for now. I think with time it'll, because right now it's got a sheen to it. So I think with some time and some actual dirt, it'll cut down pretty well. So, alright, we're going to leave that with that stain. And then we're going to go to actual paint. Alright, get a little board here. And I'm going to start with, I think, traditional burnt umber, which is this, it's a little darker. I'm going to use a technique called dry brushing. So basically, get paint on your brush, and then take off a lot of it. Wipe off a lot, so you have a dry brush, hence the technique. Also, these brushes are cheap, throwaway stuff, but they also lose their bristles pretty easily. So, we got most of it off. I'm gonna arrange this so I can see it, just ever so slightly. Give it some paint. Doesn't have to be extreme, because what I'll do is I'll actually come in here with a piece of rag and clean off a lot of it. Again, just kind of want to creep up on the color I want. It's real easy to go overboard. Requires some concentration, so I may have to shut up a little bit. Checking the back. It's a little darker than the back, but I think it'll be okay. I think that's all I need with that, so I'm going to bring out some regular burnt umber. Do I have an open one? I swore I did. Dark shaft. Okay, I guess I don't. Thought I did. So I guess on the back I only use traditional burnt umber. So, okay, that's fine. I mean, I could open a new bottle and use a different color. That'd be fine, but I guess in my mind when I was doing the other one, I wanted to keep it simple. So, this is cheap paint too. This is from Hobby Lobby, Americana, yeah. Just cheap stuff. I think you got to be expensive when it comes to weathering. I mean, if this was my helmet, I'd also go out and throw this in the dirt and the mud. I'm not going to do that with this since it is a customer helmet. But just saying, if I was painting insignia on my helmet, it'd go out in the dirt. Honestly, if I was doing my own helmet, I may not even worry about paint like this. I may just do a little bit of weathering with sandpaper and then go out and naturally weather it. Leave it out in the sun a couple days. But not my helmet. And the paint on this helmet is actually original, so don't want to affect it too terribly much. That's not bad. Let's buff it a little bit here. So I think also with weathering, don't try to do too much at once. You know, as long as you're not on time crunch or anything, like do a little bit, leave it, come back, take a look at it, add a little bit to it. You know, take a couple days, step away from it. But do realize that there will come a point where you're just going to have to call it and call it good. All right, I think, honestly, I think I'm going to step away, and I think that's going to be good. So we've got that kind of matched up with the back here. Let's get this your form out of the way here. So, back weathering, front weathering. Is it perfect? Nope. Is it fake? Is it passable as being original? Absolutely not. This helmet's going to be really for Chaplain's display. And yeah, I'm not looking for it to pass anything, any sort of inspection. I just wanted to blend in a little bit. So, yep, that's it. Appreciate you watching. It ain't perfect, but neither am I. Thanks.